All right, you guys, this is the Nutty Professor, and I want to address a little bit of criticism that I got from one of my viewers. And this is also going to be a criticism and an analysis on a couple of people that I truly do admire, and that is on Yvette Carnell and Antonio Moore. And so, one of the criticisms that I got from one of my viewers, and I'm pretty sure this viewer is of first or second year African, first or second generation African, and his spiel was very long, and I'm not going to go into it. But basically, he said, um, "Try harder," and and I really don't pay too much attention to comments or criticism or anything like that. But I kind of started thinking about it a little bit, and I started thinking, you have you have some content creators like Yvette Carnell and Antonio Moore who talk on a plurality, and I think that's a good thing. I think it's a great thing. They talk about descendant of slaves. They talk about us as a group of people, and I think that's great. I think that's wonderful. But I wonder if on a each individualistic basis, on a selfish, on an interpersonal basis, if each and every single one of us, black, descendant of slaves, if we tried harder, if we put a little bit more effort, like this viewer stated, like I said, his comment was very long, but to the very gist of it, his criticism was that we need to try harder. And I started thinking about it, and if each and every single one of us tried a little bit harder, including myself, where would we get as a collective? For example, Antonio Moore. If all of us tried to just be similar to Antonio Moore as far as creating thought-provoking documentaries or creating very, very influential articles and world-renowned publications. If all of us just tried a little bit harder, just to get to Antonio Moore, think about how much more of an impact we would be. And that kind of gets me to another YouTube content creator who I don't even subscribe to, and that's Dr. Boyce Watkins. And he has a do for self mentality, and that's a do for self mentality that's highly criticized by Yvette Carnell and including myself, because the do for selfers, they don't include intergenerational wealth of our competitors, white people. They don't include in vitro transfers of wealth. They don't include uh, connections from neighborhood to job to church to school to. They don't include all of that. But if all of us did take a page out of Dr. Boyce Watkins' book of Do for Selfers and started thinking on more of a individualistic, selfish approach, think about how much more we would go, how much farther we would be. And like I said, I don't even subscribe to Dr. Boyce Watkins, and I don't even really subscribe to the whole do for selfer idea, because I do believe as a collective we are going to be much more impactful than individuals. I do believe that, for example, white success and white wealth is built on a community level, while a lot of black wealth and black success is expected for us to be on an individualistic level. We're expected to come out from the dirt by ourselves, from our own bootstraps, and make it on our own. While white people are expected to have a good family, they're expected to do really good. They're expected to already have a pretty good foundation below them. And so, going back to what I was saying, I do believe that a community is going to be the approach, and this whole do for self idea is flawed when it comes down to it. But be that as it may, I do believe a message like Yvette Carnell or a message like Antonio Moore can have a harmful impact on descendant of slaves who already traditionally have self-esteem issues, who already have different types of undiagnosed depression and bipolar issues. I do believe their message can be extremely harmful. And I do believe a message such as Boyce Watkins, do for self message. I do believe that message is very important. I do believe that that for a group of people as flawed and as fractured as we are, for us even trying to get together on any type of group level, on any type of group event, is gonna be disaster, because I mean it's just not gonna work. So I mean I believe that a do for self. This goddamn traffic. I do believe that a do for self attitude can be very, very productive. Can be very, very shit. Can be very, very good. And so, you know, this is in response to a viewer who made just such a simple analysis as try harder. And you know, I think that we as a group need to be a little bit more individualistic. We may need to try a little bit harder. We may need to give it just a little bit extra. You know, we've always been taught that we have to try twice as hard. We have to be twice as tough. And I think that a message that Yvette Carnell and Antonio Moore sends is a message that that can just really do a lot of damage. You know, and like I said, I agree with both of them, and I really hope they don't see this video, and I really hope that, you know, they definitely don't see this video. But I agree with them 100% completely, but I think that sometimes their message can be very damaging to a very already damaged people. So thank you guys.